Hello and welcome back to another night at the shop. We have the whiteboard of things to do behind us here. What are we doing today?
Electric fans. Specifically, the electric fan wiring.
Right, so we have had,
Hello.
We've had the electric fans for a little while. They're dual Mishimoto electric fans, but the wiring has been an issue for us because we're bad at wiring things. Rerouting the battery cable was about as difficult as wiring is gonna get for us, and it took us like 3 months to do that. So this wasn't great. Luckily on Jegs we found like an adapter sensor thing.
This entire kit, specifically the 180 degree single stage electric fan controller.
Yeah. So we have that. Unfortunately, we have to install it.
Yeah.
And that's bad. So we're gonna take a look at doing that. This might be a short video. Okay, we have done some research. The switch we bought from Jegs, this switch, comes with an instruction manual, but it's written in absolute gibberish. Shaw and I have the distinct honor of being mechanical engineering students, so we fortunately were able to decipher this and put it into an easier to read format. I'm gonna say it's for viewers, but it's for us. This is bullshit. Here's the diagram. I'm sitting down, but the chair's just a little bit too short, so this is how we're doing this. This is our version of an engineering explained video. So these are the fans down here, the electric fans. From the fans, we have a temp sensor. That's the sensor that we bought in the kit. One line is going to route directly to an ignition power source, which we don't know yet. One is going to go to a relay, which came in the kit. And from there, there's a ground and a positive. One's just gonna ground to the chassis, and then the other one's gonna run up into the triple split that we made in a previous episode, the battery cable video. Nope, not that one, a different one.
Yeah.
A different video. It's gonna route to the positive battery cable up here, so we're gonna have to undo that nice pretty... Oh Lord. So we're gonna have to undo that pretty triple splice that Shaw made. And then also from the relay, we've got this pretty little green wire. That green wire is also gonna go to that split. And from there, it's gonna go to an override switch in the car. We've got a really cool spot figured out. I'll show you that in a second. But we've got another wire coming from the relay, which goes to the fuse box, right? That's the positive one. And from there, it comes back down to the fans. And that's all the wires. So it's a little bit of a mess, but we can read it, and that's okay. So I'm gonna show you where we're gonna put the switch because that's the coolest part of all this. Basically what we're doing here is giving us the option to turn the fans on and off at all times. So even if the engine's off, we can still have the fans on, which is really cool if you're doing hot laps or if you're in a parking lot and your car's overheating or something like that. Really, it's for racing. So that manual override switch is gonna be really cool. So yeah, let's take a look in the car. So entering the Lexus, we have this fine array of switches and buttons down here. There's this little blank panel right here, which I think I can reach from here. Yep, there we go. That comes right out. And there's nothing behind it. It's perfect. So we're gonna route a switch right in there, and then we're gonna have our little fan switch right there, totally hidden from the naked eye, and it blends in right with the other buttons. So that's a really, really great spot for that. I'm excited to route that. Okay, so calling back to our diagram, the central point of everything is this relay here that came in the kit we bought. We can't fit it in the fuse box like we were kind of hoping to, so instead we're just gonna screw it on the side of the fuse box there. So we decided to start with the ground wire that comes from the relay. We needed a point on the car to mount this to. So we were looking at options over here, these bolt holes and stuff, but they're all kind of difficult to reach. And what we realized is this custom bracket we made for the power steering fluid reservoir and the catch can, we can just get one of these connectors.
Like this one.
Like this one. And then file it out to the right size so that it'll fit on that bolt there. Shaw and I just had a little exchange, and that was a little chat we had about pliers, because I called these finch nose pliers and he didn't know what the hell I was talking about. But I've always called these finch nose pliers because needle nose pliers have a specific name. But what if you need like wider pliers? Like what do you call them? Like wider pliers? I've always called them finch nose because they remind me of like the Darwin finches. They're beaks that are specialized for cracking nuts and stuff. Anyways, maybe I'm weird. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But Shaw is crimping on the connector now for that ground wire. We trimmed it up a little bit, made it a little bit shorter so that it's not as far of a reach. Not a bunch of extra wire sitting around to get onto that bracket there. So it's getting close. It's getting real close, bud. So now that that's been done, we can put a little check mark by that tiny ground wire because that's been completed. The next one we're gonna tackle is from the relay to the battery cable triple connector. We're gonna do that one next. And while we're at it, we're also gonna route the green wire because that's gonna go into the same connector. So we gotta make sure to remember that because once that's heat shrinked, it's pretty much sealed up again. We're gonna have to take off the current heat shrink as is, and we don't wanna have to do it a third time. Nope, I lied, I take it back, we're done. We caught an error. Shaw was staring at the wiring diagram, and he was like, something's not right. The way we had it routed was the relay was constantly getting power, and then from there, like, we could just turn a switch on and off. It did nothing. So what makes more sense is that there's going to be a wire coming from the relay to the switch, and then that's going to connect up to the battery cable. So we still need a green wire coming out of the triple connector, well, what's currently a triple connector, and going into the switch. But now we need a second wire to come out from the switch to the relay. So we did fix that. It's a good catch by Shaw. So we're going to do the positive wire first. We're going to get like 6 feet of black cable. So it's not actually going to be green. It's going to be black, but who cares? The switch wire is what we're going to call it. And we're going to send that back to the switch. We're gonna go get a switch, and then we're gonna route it back, and then do some other wires because there's still more to do. But yeah, good catch, Shaw. So basically, we're just gonna run this process with all the wires. You don't need to see every wire individually, so I'll see you when Shaw makes some progress. Well, it's been about 40 minutes, and Shaw has made some good progress. So coming in from this end, we can see Shaw has a ground wire connected up from the fans. He also has all of the wires sorted out and nicely organized up here in this bracket. The blue wire comes over here and is ready to go into the fuse box and meet up with the orange wire because we're actually gonna make that into a fuse. So we've got to go to the store and get some parts so that we can route that into a fuse in there. Also, the red positive wire he's routed up into here, which you guys can't even see because it's so freaking dark, but it's routed up really well. And then that black wire is routed in there as well. That's gonna go back to the switch. That's really the green wire in the diagram. Then that green wire is gonna come back out and meet up with this green wire from the switch in the car, which we also have to go by. And then the last thing to do is just this yellow wire, which goes to the thermostat, which is then gonna go to an ignition power source. Yep, so we gotta go to the store and get all of those things, but so far, good work, dude. I've done no help because I've been doing other things, but it's going very, very well.
Not bad.
Cressida trip? Cressida trip? Camaro trip? What trip?
Ooh, Cressida.
Cressida.
Yeah.
Sushi Saturday slaps.
Look, man.